Rich, you want to do your top 5 here?
Sure. Let's do it,
kids.
Let's hit it. Let's hit it.
High five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Rich's top 5.
Yes, indeed. I've got my top 5 performances of week number 5. And you know what? I'm going to start with this guy because, I know I've said his quarterback is the most valuable player in the National Football League through 5 weeks. And I know Brock Purdy had a terrific performance, but the word performance is what jumps out at me right here. When you score 3 touchdowns and then you lift up your shirt that has a certain message for the town that has sent the visiting team into your building that you're scoring all these touchdowns against, that's what we call a performance. And this guy is a performer of the A++ variety. George Kittle gives us a little bit of sizzle and a little bit of energy to start our list right here. George Kittle is number 5. Look at those numbers at the bottom of your screen. He had a 3-piece chicken tendy, as he likes to say, on Sunday Night Football. And 3 touchdowns and 1 eye-popping shirt. That is a performer of the first variety right there. Number 5 on that list right here. Number 4 on the list for me here on my top 5 performances for week number 5. I'm going with a couple of Halls. They're not related, and their first names sound the same, but I'm going Breece and Bryce Hall. I'm going with the New York Jet combination of the running back who torched the Denver Broncos defense, and then Bryce Hall, who scooped and scored a loose ball knocked loose by a Jets defense led at times by Bryce Hall and by Bryce Huff and by, Quinnen Williams and by Quincy Williams. That team balled out in that second half and bailed out, in a way, Zach Wilson for a lot of his red zone mistakes, including not having a field goal. Bryce Hall, what a remarkable return to the spot where he blew out his knee last year with 177 yards in that touchdown on 22 carries. Those are standout performances, number 4 on the list. Number 3 on the list, it's kind of crazy that I've reached the point where Tyreek Hill comes up with 181 yards receiving, and I'm like, okay. That's basically what the cheetah does. Honestly, it is. So I'm going to put the kid who just went on the, not the injured list, but he's injured now. And maybe this is the last time I'm going to say for at least a month, Devin Achane. I mean, 11 rushes, 151 yards, and a score. First guy ever with 7 touchdowns in the first 4 games of his career. What a bummer that he hurt his knee in this game against the Giants, and he's going to be out for a few weeks. I can't wait to see him come back on the field. I do hope he's back, certainly in time for the Frankfurt game against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's just, there's an eye on Rich and Eisen on that one. I want to see everybody out there healthy for that big game. But what a performance by Devin Achane right there, number 3 on the list right here. Number 2 on the list for me in this week, I mean, he was terrific. You can put it up on the screen. You don't have to help me set it up. I'll just get right to it. This performance by Zach Moss from the Indianapolis Colts, 23 rushes, 165 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the day that Jonathan Taylor is back, and not just back, but pizzade. I thought this was going to be a Jonathan Taylor show, and I thought this is still going to be the Jonathan Taylor show, but Zach Moss is raising his hand and saying, hey, everybody, I'm having a breakout year.
Hey, everybody.
How are you going to bench me? 23 rushes, 165 yards, and maybe, just maybe, Shane Steichen bringing the run scheme from Philadelphia is showing how you can run behind this line and this scheme, and let's go. I mean, Gardner Minshew knows how to run that offense. This looks very Philadelphia, these numbers. So Zach Moss, I'll put that right there, number 2. And then number 1, his numbers. To say that you're always effing open and then come up with 15 catches is truly walking the walk, catching the catch, talking the talk, whatever you want to say. That Jamar Chase performance just when the Cincinnati Bengals needed it. That 192 yards, 3 touchdowns, 15 catches after you say, I'm always effing open. That is what we call a top performer for week number 5. Jamar Chase leads that. All right?
All right, we'll get one more.
Let's do it. I'll do it. I'll say it because I saw it and I called it. Travis Etienne for the Jacksonville Jaguars was superb. He was a big-time difference maker. He was bouncing it outside. He was having trouble all day long running it up the middle, and they kept on trying it, and they kept on trying it, and then Etienne comes up with 26 rushes, 136 yards, and 2 scores, including the eventual icer by bouncing it outside. And this Buffalo Bills defensive line that came in banged up got even more banged up. You could see that Doug Peterson felt, I can lean on this team, lean on that defensive line at the end of the game. And Etienne came up with one of his best performances of his career. And the Jacksonville Jaguar is my one more for my top performers for week number 5.
He is magnifique, that Travis Etienne.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.